Reading. Really slow reading. Also, the rebels already won a battle against the Empire? I bet the people watching this in 1977 were wondering how that happened. With no signs of the Jedi at the time and Luke Skywalker doing farming shit, I actually want to see how the Empire lost the battle. Unless, of course, the stormtroopers truthfully suck at trying to shoot the rebels rather than the screenwriters making it so. When, where, and how did the rebels succeed in getting the secret plans of the Death Star? If it contains the station's only weakness, then I'm pretty sure it would be in the hands of the Emperor or Darth Vader. But George Lucas doesn't want to waste our time explaining that shit, so he goes ahead and it makes the Empire look weak to begin with, so little children would not have to worry about the bad guys being so tough and all. 5 seconds of looking at space without any actual shit happening. Some of these laser blasts appear to be going through the Star Destroyer. Is it invisible in some places? Who the f is that behind R2 and 3PO?
Did you hear that?
Translation: I'm not deaf. The rebels are guarding only one entrance. If anything, there should be rebels all over the ship guarding every entrance. The stormtroopers could appear anywhere. These rebels were guarding that one entrance well before they even got sucked into the Star Destroyer. Don't get me wrong, it's a smart move. But this is just ridiculous considering they could have used all that time to guard every door. I'm pretty sure this small ship would have more than one way in. Unless, of course, it's like the Millennium Falcon. Also, this is just sad here. You know as well as I do that these guys are going to get obliterated by the Empire because there's only 10 f***ing soldiers here. Invisible droids are invisible. Before Darth Vader makes his grand entrance, a stormtrooper attends to another dead one and drops his head, but the head slowly hits the ground, meaning that the guy is probably just tired of his work and wanted to take a nap. Princess Leia wants to make a transaction from her debit card before going into action. Also, Leia just put that chip into R2 and removes it 13 seconds later, meaning she would only have time to say, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope," and then take it out. But later in the movie, she delivers a long-ass speech to Obi-Wan on Tatooine. My only guess is that she managed to say all that shit extremely fast, and R2 played the message in slow motion.
The Death Star plans are not in the main computer.
The rebels are doing a better job at hiding the Death Star plans than the Empire themselves did. Bullshit. He just died. There is no way he would be able to prevent his face from hitting the wall. It's highly likely that they didn't hire a stunt double for this pussy. Princess Leia begins to fall well before that blast even hit her.
I'm going to regret this.
C-3PO skeptical cliche.
There goes another one.
Hold your fire. There's no life forms.
Whether there were life forms or not, any normal person would fire anyway. It's normal if a Star Destroyer is getting small as you're getting further away from it, but there's no way that the star line can get smaller that quickly. If anything, the droids are looking at a rotating photograph that's getting smaller for all we know.
Several transmissions were beamed to the ship by rebel spies.
I'm surprised nobody noticed the duct tape between Vader's eyes on his helmet.
That malfunctioning little twerp. This is all his fault.
After all this time, C-3PO still blames R2 for his own misdoings. What the f*** is Wally doing here? I'm interested in knowing the history of this garbage can looking droid. I see you, Kenny Baker.
Don't shoot, don't shoot.
They have no guns, calm your ass. Main theme of Star Wars plays just to let everyone watching know that this boy is going to be our hero in this movie. This droid conveniently disintegrates just so no one would have to see R2 and 3PO get separated. Okay, the red R2 unit is smoking in front of Luke, but is magically beside the blue R2 in the next shot.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Help me, Obi-Wan.
The recording shows the only bit of footage Leia was able to record earlier in the film.
There you go. Wait a minute, where'd she go? Bring her back. Play back the entire message.
Unless R2 and Leia were capable of slowing down time, I'm pretty sure that what you saw was the entire message. I love this scene as much as every other Star Wars fan, but I think we could have all done without it. I'm just saying. Epic music though.
Luke!
I honestly believe the reason Owen and Beru keep calling Luke's name other than define him is to let the audience remember his name so they never forget the name of their hero.
Well, you better have those units in the South Range repaired by midday or there'll be hell to pay.
There's already going to be hell coming for you anyway. That's one long-ass rifle. What? The Tusken Raider missed all 3 of those shots to Luke's head, so why is he unconscious? I could guess it's because too much fear, but it could be him getting hit. How the f*** did Obi-Wan make that kind of noise? Also, those Tusken Raiders are afraid of a random cloaked figure coming toward them when they clearly outnumber him.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. Oh, he's not dead. Not yet.
Am I the only one who thinks that sounds suicidal?
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy, and a cunning warrior. And he was a good friend.
Oh yeah, did I mention I was responsible for him burning on Mustafar and leaving him for dead? Why does the lightsaber look flatter on certain angles? Also, lightsabers don't have shadows, so who else is swinging some stick around next to Luke?
Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
So the dark side of the Force seduces a man just like a random hot chick wanting to have sex with him does. I can see why it's hard to stay away from it.
I need your help, Luke. She needs your help. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing.
Obi-Wan inspired Danny Glover.
Are giving you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fort.
Vader barely shows any side of badassery in this movie, so he had to do something to show he's dangerous.
Oh, wait, Luke! It's too dangerous!
Who cares? I got a lightsaber now. This could be either the cause of stormtroopers or a meth lab. This movie kills off Owen and Beru just so that the audience will not see Luke get in trouble. Also, told ya! If you look carefully on the side of the syringe, it says Monoject, which is an American hypodermic syringe manufacturer. Vader must have traveled to another galaxy in order to get this. Also, the needle has the Made in England legend. The Jawa that 3PO carries appears to have no head, arms, or legs.
There's nothing for me here now.
Luke took the loss of his only guardians very easily. These rat-like dinosaur creatures, whatever the hell these things are.
You don't need to see his identification.
We don't need to see his identification.
Okay, I get it that the stormtrooper was under the Jedi mind trick, but the others are not suspicious at all of what's going on. Obi-Wan's not using the mind trick on them, so why the hell are they not doing anything? What? Since when did lightsabers actually cause blood to spill? They normally cauterize when they strike flesh.
Han Solo. I'm captain of the Millennium Falcon.
I am also more successful than both your movie careers, but we'll dwell on that later.
It's the ship that made the Kessel run in less than 12 parsecs.
I think every single one of us know this, Sin. A parsec is a measure of distance equal up to 3.25 light years, and Han makes it sound like it's a measure of time. Holy f***, I'm a nerd. These stormtroopers don't question Han or Chewbacca on the whereabouts of the old man and boy who was just sitting with him not even 3 seconds ago.
Door's locked. Move on to the next one.
Seriously, why did George Lucas make these stormtroopers so useless in situations other than battle? Any normal person would either knock on the door or blast it down if they were searching doors. I'm honestly wondering what the point of this giant penis nose guy was. For the record, he's never seen again after he follows Luke and Obi-Wan to Docking Bay 94. Han's arm seems to pass through Jabba the Hutt as if Jabba was just a hologram.
Jabba, you're a wonderful human being.
He's not a human at all. Also, Boba Fett's only appearance in this movie. Archer seems to have trouble getting down the stairs in this shot, but is right behind the group in the next shot. Also, the Falcon's radar dish is missing. So Han and Chewie are in the cockpit, and the others are in another room, so who the hell is this guy in the green shirt? Watch as Han says they're gonna try and cut us off. He actually removes the control panel from the floor.
They're gonna try and cut us off.
Why don't you...
Dantooine. They're on Dantooine.
Dantooine, a planet we have only heard about and never seen. I highly doubt that we'll even see it in the sequel trilogy. The Death Star uses the same Grass Valley switcher as television stations used to this day. 2 questions. How did these 2 guys get onto this platform? And why the hell is it so small? Why'd you play this game? Again, a lightsaber doesn't have a shadow as shown on Luke's arm in this shot.
Wookiee religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Yes it is, genius. I think it's pretty obvious that every time a lightsaber ignites in this movie, there are 2 different scenes. Also, why is Luke's lightsaber suddenly white? Wasn't it blue the last time he had it on?
I have a very bad feeling about this.
Vintage Star Wars line.
You can't win, but there are alternatives to fighting.
Like what?
There's no one on board, sir. According to the log, the crew abandoned ship right after takeoff.
This would raise a question as to why someone would abandon ship after takeoff. That would mean that he took off for absolutely no reason but to enjoy an escape pod ride.
There's no one here.
As usual, stormtroopers just assume that and not look for secret entrances. Like this. Dread erection.
Your destiny lies along a different path from mine.
The Force will be with you. Always.
Obi-Wan sounds even more suicidal here. Does he know he's gonna die?
Master Luke, sir, pardon me for asking, but what should R2 and I do if we're discovered here?
Lock the door.
And hope they don't have blasters.
That isn't very reassuring.
Nobody on the Death Star questions the shortness of the stormtrooper.
Boring conversation anyway.
The Jedi are extinct. Their fire has gone out of the universe. You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion.
And the Emperor. Don't forget about him.
Open up in there. Open up in there.
This door is locked. How about we move on to the next one?
I see you. Where? Anywhere!
Han suddenly sucks at blasting.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Vintage... Ah, f*** it. Watch the stormtrooper hit his head.
over.
They're madmen. They're heading for the prison level. If you hurry, you might catch them.
Follow me.
What?
All this excitement has overrun the circuits in my counterpart here. If you don't mind, I'd like to take him down to maintenance.
All right.
If you look closely, you can see that some of these stormtroopers are made of cardboard. Luke did not hit the stormtrooper who decides to fall anyway. Also, the stormtrooper is part Wilhelm. Where did Luke get a harpoon? Haha, gross. During this lightsaber duel, Obi-Wan's lightsaber changes from blue to purple in between shots. Also, Vader's chestplate is reversed, meaning the shot might just be mirrored. It's kind of odd that Fox is afraid of copyright infringement on their own movie. And why is Obi-Wan's lightsaber flickering away? Luke and Leia are already here awaiting their cue. Totally suicidal. Why is this the only time in the entire trilogy that anybody uses these two guns with the moving chairs? One of these TIE fighters made a noise only an X-Wing would have. The first TIE fighter exploded of its own accord. Also, every time a TIE fighter exploded, the debris and fire remained stationary instead of moving in the same direction the fighter was actually going in. And don't give me that it was so moving bullshit. That is clearly the Falcon moving.
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
Coming from a guy who's been cocky this entire movie. That is clearly Earth before the Continental Drift. This guy is trying to shoot the Falcon. R2 is totally banging this droid.
Look at the size of that thing.
That's what she said.
The rebel base will be in firing range in 7 minutes.
But from this monitor, it looks like 20 seconds remain.
Enemy fighters coming your way.
There's only 6 of them. Awesome offense. Movie is conveniently killing off all the other pilots just so that Luke would be the one to save the day. Movie also conveniently prevents pilots from succeeding just so that Luke would be the one to save the day. It's not cool to kill off Luke's longtime friend.
Have you not? What?
Han Solo is the originator of that cocky guy turns into hero by criticism and prevents main character from getting killed at the end cliche. I thought R2 was invisible to gunfire.